Good evening, everyone, and welcome inside the K. Yeager Coliseum here in Wichita Falls, Texas. With you as always, I'm Alex Von Coydle, hoping you're having a wonderful Friday night, hoping the Wildcats can make it even better here as they prepare to take on the last place Amarillo Bulls, a team they've had nothing but success against of late. They've won 9 consecutive games against the Amarillo Bulls. They can't say that against any other team this season. They've really just figured out the formula, what it takes to beat this team. And good news for the Wildcats, the Amarillo's star phenom netminder Anton Martinson will not be in the game today. He is nursing a lower body injury, so he will be unavailable to head coach Matt Nicholson and the Amarillo Bulls. In his stead, Brian Baker will be tending the pipes, which we all know he is a pretty suitable backup. He can really get the job done as well. He played extremely well the last time he was in this building taking on the Cats. We'll see how he fares tonight against the first-place Wildcats. The Wildcats hanging on to that first-place spot by just a 5-point margin over the Lone Star Brahmas. They just continue to creep up behind them and make things interesting here down the stretch. Just 8 games remaining in the 2015-2016 season. For the Wildcats, all they really have to do is win more than half of those games remaining, and they've all but clinched the first-place spot and clinched home ice advantage throughout the first 2 rounds of the Robertson Cup playoffs. However, it will be no easy feat. The Amarillo Bulls, despite losing 9 straight against the Wildcats, always give them, it seems like, a challenging time. There's really been no blowouts aside from one out in Amarillo, an 8-0 throbbing of the Bulls a couple of months ago. Aside from that, they've all been pretty much nail-biters for the most part. The Wildcats do travel to Corpus Christi one last time this season. They also play the Topeka Roadrunners here on home ice and Corpus Christi to close out the 2015-16 season. And now singing our country's national anthem, which will preface the introduction of our starting lineups, is Big John Wilson. What a tremendous rendition of our country's national anthem by John Wilson, known around here as Big John. He's been a huge part of the Wildcats family for 6 years now as he hugs the off-ice programs coordinator, Debbie Fleetwood. And now, ladies and gentlemen, making his way to the face-off circle, one of the face-off circles in the Wildcats' end, is a pretty special guest who will be dropping the puck tonight. A Wrestling Hall of Fame member, Johnny Mantell, who was known across the world as the pride of Montague County. He will be dropping the puck tonight. The ceremonial face-off takes place between Joe DiBenedetto, the Amarillo captain, and Austin Beaulieu, who many believe would be the Wildcats captain were it not for Coach LaFontaine's no captaincy rule. And I've actually just come to the realization they've never had a captain. As far as I've been told, any team that LaFontaine has coached has not had a captain, so an interesting philosophy for him. But hey, it has worked for the Wildcats this season. They're at the top of the South Division. They have been all season long. They were at one point at the top of the entire league. That honor now belongs to the Fairbanks Ice Dogs, but the Wildcats have not been close behind them virtually all season long. The starting lineup tonight for the Amarillo Bulls. Brian Baker, as was mentioned, will be tending goal for Matt Nicholson's Bulls. On defense for Amarillo on the right side, it will be Tyler Hall. On the left, Phil Fromberger. At center, Michael Foreman, flanked by the captain Joe DiBenedetto and Nick Santoro. The Wildcats starting lineup, brought to you by Pelican's Restaurant, is as follows. Adam Goodsir, the Denver commit, flanked again, as always, by Austin Bolio and Andre Paisan. Jeff Baum and Demontis Sipis, the rear guards for the Wildcats, and Justin Kappelmaster, who is 5-0-1 against these Bulls, gets another start tonight, trying to make it 6-0-1 and 10 consecutive wins for the Cats against the Amarillo Bulls. The Wildcats win the opening faceoff, and Dom Sipis gives it out to the right side. The Cats early on have a 2-on-2 rush here. Goodsir crisscrossing with Paisan. Goodsir the shot. First test of Brian Baker, and he has passed. And our first whistle of the hockey game, 16 seconds in. The first period of Wildcats hockey is brought to you by American Classifieds. As always, folks, if at any point throughout this broadcast you'd like a shout-out, go ahead and send the Wildcats Twitter page a message and let me know where you're tuning in from. If you so desire, let us know why you're tuning in, and I'd be more than happy to give you a shout-out before this game comes to an end. Sipis with a quick bid, blocked by Santoro, so Sipis will just chop it towards an empty corner. Austin Bolio goes in to get it. He will flip it back to the left point. Didn't get all the way back to Baum. Santoro broke it up. He will try to work the puck now, and he does. Michael Foreman couldn't get it across to Joe DiBenedetto. Adam Goodsir on the steal will guide it back to Baum. Baum, whose father is in attendance tonight, flips the puck into the opposite corner, and it's picked up in behind the Amarillo net. Puck given out to the right side in the neutral zone. Liam Ferguson had his pocket picked by Michael Rounds, who goes in behind his own goal for Gilraith. Rounds' outlet pass was intercepted by Tyler Gernhofer, then stolen from him by Litviak. Here comes Lazarus with a shot, and it's gloved. That was Yeager, my apologies. And Brian Baker is 2 for 2. Speaking of Johnny Lazarus, he will not be in the broadcast booth with me tonight. Unfortunately, we had a great time last time around down in Corpus. It was a lot of fun. He really enjoyed it. Had to convince him to help me out a little bit, but he was great. And the next night he asked me if he could do it. So clearly enjoyed it, and I did as well. And he is playing tonight, so obviously will be unable to help me with the broadcast. But a terrific job was done nonetheless. And he is back on the line with Nick Rosa and Austin Albrecht. So that 20s line, which was so hot early on in the season, is reunited once more. I believe it's the first time they'll be playing again together since being separated. A few months ago, as Dillinger, the former Bull, turns it wide of the net. Rourke Russell pinches and pokes it in deep. Litviak gets it. Litviak's had 8 points in his last 9 games. Tried a wraparound, and it was picked off by Singerhouse, and Litviak took a funny tumble there into the half boards. He's okay. Boy, that was an awkward-looking hit. He went head first into the wall. Now it's Dom Sipis, that's Jake Dalton, rather. He will put it on his backhand and dump it in before going to the bench, where he's replaced by Michael Rounds, his fellow Michiganer. Now it's Matt Nels. He's able to clear. Wildcats reset in the neutral zone. Ryan Burnett gives a saucer pass across for Noah Gilraith. Slapped back off the boards. Nels will get it back out to center. Gaining the line there is Sheptitsky. He put it into the slot. Good defensive play made by Van Wy and Gilraith. They sandwiched the attacking Bull. Prevented any kind of opportunity there. I believe that was Jacob Nitschy. Justin Kappelmaster with one of his first touches on the puck tonight will leave it in behind for Rounds. The Bulls have yet to get a shot on target. 2.5 minutes in. Rounds with a turnover. It is Cole Norris turning one wide of the net. I think it missed high as well, and the puck rolls all the way out into the Amarillo zone after it rattled off the glass. Tyler Hall played it out in a neutral ice once more. Looked like a friendly collision there by a couple of Amarillo Bulls. George Mika and Cole Norris down there. One of the players lost his glove. Lazarus from his skate to his stick takes it on the right side against Fromberger. Lazarus waits behind the net. He will send it back to Baum, who couldn't control. He's going to have to regroup in his own zone. D-to-D for Dom Sipis. Sipus recovered, got it out to Lazarus. His pass partially picked off. Albrecht tried to spring Lazarus back over the line. A couple of Bulls breaking up that play. Joey Molinaro chipped it to himself past Goodsir. Baum swipes it away from him, then a slap shot is gloved by Kappelmaster. That was quite a hard shot. Kappelmaster with his first save of the night. Just 3.5 minutes in. Michael Foreman's line, the starting line for the Amarillo Bulls, back out there against the Wildcats starting line. Adam Goodsir's line, which has been together for really as long as I can remember, folks. Adam Goodsir, Andre Paisan, and Austin Beaulieu. Goodsir and Beaulieu, of course, considered two of the most skilled players, if not the two most skilled players the Wildcats have. As a quick shot from the blue line from Nels goes just wide. I don't think Kappelmaster ever saw it. But as I was saying, that line has really been together and been the backbone of the Wildcats offense for quite a while. Some of the Bulls think that puck's into the net. They tried to stuff it in from the side of the goal. Kappelmaster was down, and then a scrum ensues. But Paisan does a tremendous job of complementing that line with his work ethic, which has just been unbelievable really all season long. Doesn't quite have the stats as those other two guys, but you can really see it each and every shift. He really just gives his all, and that's why he has really earned the favor of the Wildcats coaching staff. Played 2 seasons up at the with the Wenatchee Wild, who were actually in the South Division last season despite being in Washington State. So a bit of an odd geographical makeup for the league. The Wenatchee Wild ended up becoming a part of the British Columbia Hockey League, a league that does not allow European players. As a result, he couldn't continue there. Litviak turns one on goal. Baker made the save. It's loose and Yeager scores. This is going to count. The Wildcats are off and running. They lead 1-0 just 4 minutes in. Eric Yeager with his 7th goal of the season. That's 20 points for the veteran center. And just like that, it's 1-0 Cats on just their 4th shot on goal. Smart play by Nikita Litviak to just get the puck towards the net. It wasn't the hardest shot, but oftentimes those are even more difficult for the goaltenders because they're just about all the time the goaltenders are anticipating a hard shot. At this level, everyone shoots the puck pretty hard. When a goaltender positions himself square to the shot, he's expecting that puck to be flying his way, and Litviak just sort of almost passed it to Brian Baker, which caught him off guard a little bit, and the puck laid loose right on his doorstep. The breakout pass from Hall was intended for Cole Norris, who went off a Wildcat stick. Norris could have been behind the defense, but it didn't work out. So an offside whistle is a result. But Eric Yeager going hard to the net like he so often does. He scores the majority of his goals in that area. That's not to say he can't snipe and shoot the puck and have some skill, because he certainly does. We saw it down in Corpus, not only with that empty net goal from 100 feet out, which certainly took some poise and some concentration, but earlier this season, way back in October, Eric Yeager had a couple of beautiful goals down in Corpus Christi. A backhand shot in which he roofed it over the goaltender. Not sure if that was Hunt or McKay. I think they alternated games, but that very same game, he had a beautiful snipe high glove side on a 2-on-1 rush as Ryan Burnett displaying some great speed, but he ran into some traffic and lost the puck. Nikita Shiptitsky played it ahead. Sarnowski couldn't get it to the open Nitchie. Here come the Cats on the counterattack. Van Wy's pass was between Burnett's skates. Now Jacob Nitchie in the neutral zone. Did well to put a backhand pass across, and a more friendly fire there between Nitchie and his line mate Shiptitsky as Sarnowski's shot was blocked and it goes out of play. Nikita Litviak now has 9 points in his last 10 games, and if you include this as the 10th, he has just been playing on another level as of late, folks. Of course, in his last season in junior hockey, he will be turning 21 years old in just a few days. The oldest player on the Wildcats, a leader on and off the ice. He came over last season. His English was certainly a work in progress. And we've got our first penalty of the game. It's going to be against Michael Rounds, I believe, for interference on Charlie Singerhouse. But Litviak, his English improved, his play improved. He has just passed his point total from last season of 34. He's now got 35 on the campaign this year, as he really makes that push to commit to a Division I or Division III program. For the first time tonight, the Wildcats find themselves shorthanded. They go to their first Parkway Grill penalty kill of the evening, which has been, as opposed to an Achilles heel like it was last season, it's been a strength of the Wildcats this season. They are an 86.5% on the penalty kill this year, which is third best in the entire league. Last season it was one of the biggest weaknesses this team had. Along with the goals they allowed, the Wildcats were an average team at best at keeping the puck out of their own net. That has also changed. Defensive specialist Josh Nelson, he has really done a tremendous job with a very young defensive core this season. Beaulieu steps into the slot and fires. It was blocked by Jeff Salau. Beaulieu gets it back, right half boards, put it to the side of the net, hoping for Paisan. Paisan gets to it, picks it up, takes it around Tyler Hall. Still working for it, sets up Beaulieu behind the goal. Beaulieu back to the right point for Sipus. He scores! Demontis Sipus let it rip. Baker never saw the shot. It was a screen shot, and Dom Sipus has scored his second goal of the season, his 8th point, and it's 2-0. A short-handed goal for Demontis Sipus. Boy, for the Wildcats, that is their 12th shorthanded goal of the season. What a shot by Dom Sipus, and that was all set up because of the hard work of Andre Paisan in behind the Amarillo Bulls net. Paisan outworked Tyler Hall for the puck. He set up Austin Beaulieu, who, if you give him that kind of time and space, Austin Beaulieu is going to make a smart pass, and he did. Sipus with a seeing eye shot. Baker never saw it. Baker not off to his best start, giving up 2 goals in just 5 shots. And just like that, it's a 2-0 hockey game. We're not even halfway through the first period. Phil Fromberger couldn't hold the puck in a high slot. He retreats out to center and plays the puck there. Joey Molinaro circles with it. Now he will carry in with a full head of steam over the Cats' line. Molinaro surveys. Fromberger wants it. Molinaro shoots it. Went off of Alexei Poikola's skate. That is Jaeger, rather. Foreman trying to jar it loose. He gets it past Baum. Foreman laid it across the ice through the net mouth and wide. Molinaro back to the high slot. Fromberger, right point now Santoro. Back to Fromberger. Punched it to Molinaro through diving, and Molinaro put it just wide of the net. Michael Rounds is out of the box. 5 skaters aside. Rounds works the puck free. He got it out to the right wing. It's Eric Jaeger trying to catch the Bulls in the midst of a change as Jaeger fires a quick snapshot into the glove of Brian Baker. And Demontis Sipus is just the second Wildcats defenseman to have scored a shorthanded goal this season, folks. The only other one being Jeff Baum. He scored his first shorthanded goal as a Wildcat earlier this season on that beautiful play in which he joined the rush and swatted the puck out of midair after Adam Goodsir played it across for him. That was a highlight reel goal as Litviak gave it to the right point. Dalton did well to keep it in. Sarnowski fanned on it. Dillinger shoots it, swallowed by Baker. I'd like to give a shout out to Roger Burnett, who's watching tonight's game from beautiful Park City, Utah. He says, let's get the win, Wildcats. Indeed, let's get it. The Wildcats can't afford to let these points slip away. The Lone Star Brahmas closing just 5 points back in the South Division. But thank you very much to Roger Burnett for tuning in and enjoying some Wildcats hockey on your Friday night. Speaking of the Lone Star Brahmas, there's quite the controversy I was not even aware of until spoke with the Amarillo broadcaster prior to the game, Dennis Puska. And, he informed me of the little fiasco that went down between the Lone Star Brahmas and the Odessa Jackalopes last Saturday night at the Nitec Center. From what I've heard, it was essentially a line brawl. I'll have to take a look at it again. I haven't seen it, hadn't even heard about it until tonight. But a few players were suspended, and I believe Odessa's head coach Greg Gatto also suspended by the league. Michael Rounds has the puck at the left point. Beautiful play to keep it alive. Gave it across for Gilraith, who slapped it on target. It was tipped by Garrett Van Wy, and a left pad save, I believe, was made by Baker. A couple of Wildcats go changing. Rosa and Lazarus on the ice now. Rosa with a good steal, sets up Lazarus high slot. Lazarus played it across. Gilraith pinches down the wall. Lazarus takes his place at the right point. Now it's guided back around the end boards. Garrett Van Wy still needs to change for Austin Albrecht. Meanwhile, the Wildcats assume control. Van Wy gave it off. Albrecht jumps on the ice. Here's Rosa right side. He hangs on, spins, gets an Amarillo Bull to go down. Gilraith slaps a shot, stopped by Baker. It was redirected, but Baker made the save. Now Liam Ferguson back out to center. Fell down, took a hit to make a play. Now Michael Rounds back on it. Rounds banks it into the Bulls zone. Baker wraps it around the boards. Cypus couldn't keep it in. Lazarus found on the dump attempt. On his second try, he will carry and then just bank it around the end wall. Albrecht's going to be first to it. Chips it back in deep. Rosa outnumbered. Albrecht picks it up. Gave it errantly to Liam Ferguson. He didn't see him. Ferguson jumps in and intercepted it. And he again failed to clear it. The second chance he does. Kapellmaster leaves it behind his own net. We are now halfway through period one. 9.5 to go in period one. It's a 2-0 hockey game in favor of the Wildcats. 8-3 the shots on goal. Now here's Rosenbaum taking a shot that's gloved by Justin Kapellmaster. Looks like we're going to go to our first period media timeout. Jake Rosenbaum, who fired that last shot that Kapellmaster stopped with his glove, is an Irvine, California native. He's only played 4 games for Amarillo, this being his 5th. And he was traded mid-season from the Wilkes-Barre Scranton Knights. He played 21 games there in the East Division. A very young defenseman, 97. Likely part of this rebuild going on here in Amarillo. They've made an effort to get younger, add some younger players. They've certainly done that with Cole Norris and Jeff Salau coming on board from different teams. The rebuild is, I think it's officially underway in Amarillo. I don't think anyone's trying to hide that anymore. They've added some good pieces. It'll be interesting to see how it shapes out next season as Paisan put it wide of the goal after he was set up by Bolio. Now Goodsir swipes it back to Cypus. Cypus goes around the wall. Bolio will wheel it back to Baum. He takes a shot, tipped by an Amarillo Bull and wide of the goal. Paisan again. He gives it to Bolio, then back to Paisan, who chopped it wide. Goodsir behind the net picks it up. The Cats cycling the wagons here, buzzing for their 3rd of the night. Cypus off the point-to-point pass from Baum. His slap pass was intercepted. Now it's Mika the other way, setting up Joey Molinaro left side. That was Norris, and his pass was intercepted. The Wildcats have just iced the puck, so they will not be allowed to make a line change here. Trenton Dillinger is staying out there. Sure, the linesman is aware that Trent Dillinger has changed illegally. The Wildcats have 6 skaters on the ice right now. There's some confusion. I think Dillinger's going to stay out there. Like that will be the case. There are 4 forwards still that don't know what's going on. Now Paisan switching with Baum. Paisan's extremely confused. Paisan loses his stick. What's going on down there? There's 4 forwards on the ice for the Wildcats. The referee tonight, Ian Gendro, rushing that face-off so the puck drops. The Wildcats are going to hope to get to the bench as quickly as possible and get themselves out of this little nightmare that they've just created for themselves, and looks like they've got some of it sorted out. As Sipus takes over, Kapelmaster collides with Liam Ferguson down there behind the Wildcats net. Now Litviak punches it ahead. Here come the Cats. Eric Yeager, one of the 2 goal scorers tonight for the Wildcats, drives it into the far corner. Cycles it back into Litviak. He will give it across the ice. Rourke Russell at the goal line. Had a bit of a blowout. Tripped over one of his skates and fell down in the corner. Litviak's going to get a penalty here for interference, I believe, as he took down Phil Fromberger behind the Amarillo net. 7:47 to go in period 1. It's 2-0 in favor of the Wildcats. They double the Bulls in shots, 8-4. Baker has made a 6 out of 8 possible saves. Kapelmaster has stopped all 4 tests he's been tasked with. As Litviak heads to the sin bin, and the Wildcats again shorthanded. Be their second Parkway Grill penalty kill of the night. They killed off their first one with aplomb, scoring a shorthanded goal by Dom Sipus. Here's a quick shot from the Amarillo Bulls veteran winger Phil Fromberger. Now it's given back to the high slot for Hall. His shot blocked by Van Wy as it bounces back into the Amarillo zone. Jeff Salau takes over there. Slides it through the neutral zone. Touch pass attempt from Gernhofer is read easily by Gilraith. He slaps it back down the ice. Wildcats 2 defensemen hanging out by their own blue line. Pass out to center for Gernhofer. They were trying to split the D with that pass. No luck. Gernhofer put it off the side of the goal. Now here's Hall. He patiently waits, and Salau's blast is stopped by Kapelmaster. Rebound shot, they score. Cole Norris, a power play goal, and the Bulls have cut the Wildcats' lead in half. It's 2-1. It was a good play from the side of the net. You got to give the Bulls credit. Some patience, a good shot taken by Jeff Salau. He's going to be a big part of the rebuild here in Amarillo, and Cole Norris as well. And he has just been a Wildcat killer. He has really been one of the few Bulls who has managed to score against Kapelmaster of late. And he's got another one, Cole Norris, with 7 goals in just his 13th game here in Amarillo. It's 2-1. Rosa had a blowout in the neutral zone, and looks like Wilkinson, one of the linesmen, is signaling a hand pass, so there's a stoppage in play, and this faceoff will come back out to center. .6:40 to go in the first frame here, the first 20 minutes, about nearly 3/4 of the way through. Jeff Baum has the puck and gives it D-to-D for Dom Sipus. 2-1 the score in favor of the Wildcats. Their goals came off the sticks of Eric Yeager and Dementis Sipus. The Bulls' goal came off the stick of Cole Norris. The Bulls win that neutral zone draw. Mika got it to Molinaro, and it's punched back to the left defenseman. And as Jeff Salau hammering a slap shot that's gloved by Kapelmaster. And boy, Salau really loves to shoot, and why not when you can shoot like that? Again, Mika and good serve for the rematch. Mika wins it again. Chopped at by a few Wildcats. They work it out to center. Paisan one-handed it there, and Hall will push it up back for Mika. Molinaro hangs on, put it into the high slot. Mika gave it across for a shot, stopped by Kappelmaster. It hit him in the left toe, it looked like. Now Goodser will work it out to Austin Bolio down the right wing. Bolio hangs on at the right circle. He pivots. He caused Fromberger to fall down, then finds a trailer, and Albrecht, who shot one. It was stopped. It punched away by the goaltender Brian Baker. That was Michael Rounds who took the shot. Jabbed away from him by Joey Molinaro. And Wildcats, they have a delayed penalty here. They've got 6 attackers. Jaeger lost a handle on the puck, but the Wildcats will go to their first power play of the night with 5.5 minutes remaining. Their penalty kill has been, well, both good and bad. They scored a shorthanded goal, but they also allowed a goal against on that last penalty kill. So it's been a bit of a mixed bag here early in period 1. We'll see if their power play follows suit. Their power play has also been a strength, but that was to be expected at the start of the season. Last year they were the best in the entire league with a 25% conversion rate, even as a quick shot by Litviak, sticked aside by Baker. Picked up by Albrecht, far half boards. He goes down. Litviak rescues the puck, carries into the slot, lets it go. Stick save again by Baker. Another delayed penalty upcoming. Now it's a 6-on-4, and it will be a 5-on-3 as the whistle blows. A 5-on-3 power play for the Wildcats. And they really have an opportunity to regain that 2-goal lead as Jacob Nitschke heads to the Amarillo sin bin. A very strong penalty killer for the Amarillo Bulls, a gritty, defense-first type of forward. The kind of player that coaches love having on their teams. He's going to be unavailable as he's going to have a seat. And this will not be an easy challenge for the Amarillo Bulls. And their head coach, Matt Nicholson, sends out his captain, Joe DiBenedetto, for a very important face-off against Alexei Poikala, and he wins it. He gets the job done. But the puck is not cleared. It's going to be kept alive by Johnny Lazarus, who bobbles it a bit. Noah Gilraith, the lone defenseman out there, has it now. Gave it to the goal line. Poikala's side of the net. What a save by Brian Baker. Slipped in front, fanned down by Litviak. Poikala turns one on goal. Diving after it is Baker. Unbelievable larceny by number 30 in red. Brian Baker just kept the puck out of the net twice when he probably shouldn't have done it at all. Easily could have been 2 goals just then. Wildcats still have plenty of time. 90 seconds to work this 5-on-3. Alexei Poikala is out there along with Austin Albrecht, Nikita Litviak, Noah Gilraith, and Johnny Lazarus. Power play specialists. Gilraith put it to Lazarus on the right wing. Lazarus gains the line smoothly, crisscrosses with Poikala, dropped off for Litviak and given back to Gilraith. High slot, slapped it to Poikala, cross ice for Lazarus, and he scores on the one-timer. Johnny Lazarus' first game back after the long injury. And that didn't take long for him. Lazarus with his 15th goal of the season. That's 37 points. And you can bet John LaFontaine's happy to have his power play specialist back. And it's 3-1 Wildcats. Eric Jaeger circles with it there in the far corner. He's got Bolio open, but he will leave it off for Paisan, who finally gives it there to Bolio. Back to Paisan, he shoots. What a pad save by Brian Baker. Boy, this has turned into a good old-fashioned wide-open hockey game. Nothing like what we saw the last couple of nights in Corpus Christi. As Bolio works it up and back down the boards. He gave it across for Goodser. It was between his stick and his skates. Couldn't do a whole lot with it. Now Goodser surveys, gives it to the point for Baum. Baum for Bolio. Fired it off his own teammate in Paisan. Now Jaeger goes after the puck. He falls down. The Wildcats recover. Sent back to Baum at the blue line. He walks the line, holds, waits, Paisan. Top of the left circle, now to the goal line. It's Bolio once more. Bolio looks for an opening. Continues to survey. Wheels back down the boards. Now it's Yeager, and he couldn't stuff it in from a very severe angle. And what have we here? A stoppage of play. I'm not sure why. Possibly one of the pegs on the net was dislodged. Brian Baker now securing both pipes. Russell, cross ice pass, Burnett's shot, missed just wide, far side of the net. Dalton did well to keep it left point, gave it to the goal line again. Rosa centers, Van Wy had his stick checked, good play by DiBenedetto. Now Dalton turns it towards the net. Baker was interfered with by Rosa, looks like he's going to get away with it. And the Bulls have killed off the second penalty, though they did concede a 5-on-3 goal to the Wildcats, so the lead has been extended. It's 3-1 Wichita Falls. And 1 for 2 on the Jim Arnold Collision power play tonight. Dalton put it in behind the Bulls net. Ryan Burnett battling for it along with Nick Rosa. But the Bulls end up with it. Phil Fromberger outlets it to the right side. Joey Molinaro, their leading scorer, gains the line, gave it across. The trailer there was Cole Norris, and the pass was just a bit too far ahead of him. Well, Burnett will leave it to Russell. Russell flies the puck into the opposite corner, picked up by Matt Meininger. Now given to Jake Rosenbaum. Rosenbaum backhands it back out to center. And it's Litviak once more. Had to deke Cole Norris out of position, but he lost the puck in doing so. Rosenbaum takes over behind his own net. Litviak yelling at Trent Dillinger to help him forecheck. Dillinger goes around the opposite side of Litviak, but the Wildcats fail to win the puck. Eventually, Rounds keeps it in at the left point. Gernhofer played it across for Charlie Singerhouse, who lost his stick. Wildcats regroup in their own zone. Now it's Eric Yeager putting the puck on his backhand, then taking down Jeff Salau after dumping it into the offensive zone. Charlie Singerhouse pinned up there by Noah Gilraith. Good working by Gilraith. He got it to Yeager again. Dillinger battling for it there in the far corner. Gernhofer will sweep it behind his own net. Jeff Salau steps past Albrecht, but he lost it. The Bulls bank it back out to neutral ice. Ferguson had his pocket picked by Albrecht. Good stick lift and then a good body check on the finish by Charlie Singerhouse. As Albrecht gets back up to his skates, Jeff Salau takes a big hit from Lazarus in the corner. Foreman will try to chip it out. Good keep by Dom Sipis. D-to-D pass for Nels now. Nels will bank it off the glass and out back into the neutral zone. Here comes Johnny Lazarus with Albrecht. Lazarus couldn't do much with it. Good stick check by a diving Salau. Now it's fed through back to the point for Sipis, bidding for his second goal of the night. His shot was blocked by Joe DiBenedetto. Now Albrecht goes after it. The last minute of play is brought to you by La Quinta Inn & Suites, the official host hotel of your Wichita Falls Wildcats. And it looks like the Bulls got away with a hand pass as Foreman is closed off by Don Sipis along the far half boards. Sipis put it in to the neutral zone there after wheeling behind his own net. Paisan will leave it there for Rosa, who dumped it errantly into the Bulls zone. So the faceoff will stay at center ice, I believe. Teams and their leading scorers among centers took that face-off, Goodsir and Mika. And a loose puck in the slot, backhanded just wide by Joey Molinaro. Kapelmaster was ready for it. Molinaro put it just wide. Now 6 seconds remain, and the Wildcats are caught offside. Rourke Russell a little bit too eager there. So this face-off will come back to the neutral zone with 4.2 seconds remaining in period one. 3-1 the score in favor of the Wildcats, who are out shooting the Bulls 15-6. And their goal scorers tonight, Eric Yeager, Dom Sipus, and Johnny Lazarus in that order. The lone goal scorer for the Amarillo Bulls, Cole Norris, early in their second Bulls power play. And boy, as much as Johnny Lazarus loved broadcasting and providing the color commentary, you know he loves being back on the ice after that beautiful one-timer. Looks like Austin Bolio and Cole Norris had a bit of an altercation because they were both sent off the ice. So Ryan Burnett and Charlie Singerhouse take their places here for this presumably the last face-off of period 1. And it will be. And the first period of play was brought to you by American Classifieds. It comes to an end. 3-1 the score in favor of the Wildcats, who dominated the majority of that period. 15-6 the shots on goal. 3 different Wildcats came through on the scoreboard, including Dementis Sipus' second goal of the season and his first shorthanded one as a Wildcat, just the second defenseman this season to score a shorthanded goal for Wichita Falls, who now have an impressive 12 shorthanded goals on the season. Eric Yeager came through as well for his 7th goal of the season and his 20th point, and Johnny Lazarus, who had spent the last few games out with an injury, finally returned and made his presence known on that 5-on-3 with a beautiful one-timer into the near side of the net. Didn't have a whole lot of daylight because, the goaltender, Brian Baker, was sliding across from his left to his right, cut down a pretty good portion of the net, but Johnny Lazarus really picked his spot. It's difficult when you're one-timing shots because you want to try to put all you can into the shot. You need to get it off quickly for it to work. And in that situation, you need to be accurate, and to do all those things, it's not easy. Johnny Lazarus made it look easy. And he's made it 3-1 Wichita Falls as we head into our first intermission. And folks, thanks for joining us here on this Friday night. We hope you've enjoyed the game up till this point. Alex Von Keudel with you as always, bringing you another chapter of Wildcats hockey here at the KYC. Again, 3-1 the score. We're going to step aside, take our first short break here. And when we come back, we'll bring you your first out-of-town scoreboard update and break down this game for you in a little greater detail. Stay tuned, everyone. All right, welcome back, everybody. Hope you're enjoying this broadcast. We know you're enjoying the game. It's a 3-1 score in favor of the Wildcats, and they have just come out of the gates flying. Really, their first periods of late, folks, have not been very strong. Down in Corpus Christi, it was really their ultimate demise, and especially in that second game. They conceded 2 goals in the first period, didn't get one of their own until the second, and were unable to make up the deficit in the third period. In that first game, a lot of people forget this, but they actually conceded a goal. I believe it was on the first shift, point-to-point play. It might have been on the second shift. Point is, it was very early on in the game, just not even 2 minutes into the game. Meekoff let it rip from the left point, a point-to-point play, and Meekoff just one-timed it quite a ways out. Kapellmeister never saw the shot, but the Wildcats found themselves trailing really immediately in that game, and they had to claw their way back, would end up winning, but first periods have not been very good of late for them, and that's a very important period. It's sort of like, we've all heard it, breakfast being the most important meal of the day. You need to get the ball rolling as soon as you possibly can. It set yourself up better for the remainder of the day, or in this case, the remainder of the game. And finally, the Wildcats have done that. They're off to a 3-1 lead here at the KYC and a 15-6 edge in shots. The goals tonight have been scored by Eric Yeager, Dementis Sipis, Cole Norris for the Bulls, and then Johnny Lazarus. Johnny Lazarus is playing tonight in his first game since February 26th. It was against these very same Bulls. He hurt his shoulder. A lot of folks watching on Fast Hockey, listening on YouTube, I'm sure you remember, he went down pretty hard into the corner boards on the left side. And the trainer at the time thought he'd be all right to play. And unfortunately, he would end up making it a little bit worse after playing for the remainder of that game. So he had to sit out a few games. There was actually a talk of him playing in Corpus Christi last weekend, but the trainer, Brian Deathridge, and Coach LaFontaine deciding to play it safe, err on the side of caution, and hey, it looks like it paid off, because that shoulder certainly isn't bugging him anymore. How about that pass from Alexei Poikala? There's a reason that he leads the entire team in power play assists. He really is probably better than anyone on this team in finding the open man and getting the puck to him. And that should come as no surprise, given the players in the National Hockey League that he admires and that he looks up to. Nicholas Backstrom, Mikael Granlund, players from his neck of the woods, Scandinavia, who play a very similar style of hockey to him. Nicholas Backstrom, of course, of Sweden, Mikael Granlund of Finland, the home country of Alexei Poikala. Both very skilled playmaking centers. Alexei Poikala, of course, a very skilled playmaking center. They both love to pass and set up open targets for one-timers and backdoor plays. Alexei Poikala did just that. It's actually pretty resemblant of the Nicholas Backstrom to Alexander Ovechkin one-time play that has made the Washington Capitals such a successful team over the last decade, really. And to be honest with you folks, that was a pretty similar looking play. Alexei Poikala gave it across the ice from circle to circle, and Johnny Lazarus let it rip from really the exact same spot where Alexander Ovechkin loves to shoot. And Brian Baker really didn't have a whole lot of a chance to stop that puck. For your first period out-of-town scoreboard update, we'll get that to you here momentarily. Looks like a couple of Eastern teams have the night off, or perhaps just not playing each other. No, they do not have the night off. Quite the contrary. A couple of Eastern teams, I should say, are in Alaska this evening. The Wilkes-Barre Scranton Knights in Fairbanks, and the New Jersey Titans in Kenai taking on the Brown Bears. So a long way from home for those two squads. And for the two Eastern teams that are still stateside, the Aston Rebels and the Johnstown Tomahawks, that game is 2-1 in favor of Johnstown. And the former Rio Grande Valley Killer Bees trying to muster a comeback in the third period. The Janesville Jets tied with the Coulee Region Chill at the Green Island Ice Arena up in La Crosse, Wisconsin, a 1-1 hockey game. That game looks like is just starting period 2. Dominic Florian scored for Coulee Region to get the ball rolling, and then Adam Winborg, the Wisconsin commit, would answer for the Janesville Jets on the power play to make it 1-1. The former Wildcats, Alex Falconer and Shane Kosmeski, looks like both of them are in the lineup tonight. Falconer with a shot on goal, Kosmeski with 4. He has really become, looks what it seems like to be their ace defenseman back there. Good to see Shane Kosmeski flourishing in his new environment. We know there was some great speculation, to say the least, as to which team he'd play for this offseason. He had several looks at different teams across the United States Hockey League. I believe he was in Sioux Falls for a tryout. He was in Chicago trying out for the Steel. If my memory serves me right, he also had a look with the Fargo Force. Didn't quite make any of those rosters. He was actually here in Wichita Falls for a little bit, a very, very brief period of time, just a couple of days. And a lot of Wildcats fans thought he may be joining the Wildcats once more. And that was before he got his tryout with the Chicago Steel, shortly after which he found himself a new home in La Crosse, Wisconsin, playing with the Coulee Region Chill and his former and again current assistant coach, Chris Soransky. So good to see Coos doing pretty well. And we'll see if he and his team can continue that late push to make it into the Robertson Cup playoffs. The Brookings Blizzard in Austin taking on Grabowski's Bruins. It's a 1-1 hockey game after one period of play. Topeka and Odessa squaring off up at the Landon Arena in Kansas's capital. It's a 2-1 game in favor of Topeka. The Odessa Jackalopes still fighting hard for their playoff lives, and they'll have to do so without the services of their head coach, Greg Gatto. Hampus Shogal came through first, just 2 minutes into the game, but Marcus Russell and Luca Mava responded to make it 2-1 Topeka. The Aberdeen Wings hosting the Bismarck Bobcats, and the former Wildcat Parker Mismash and his team with a 1-0 lead over the Aberdeen Wings. Mismash in the lineup tonight has been held off the score sheet. The Lone Star Brahmas hosting the Corpus Christi Ice Rays. That's a 1-1 game. The Lone Star again playing at the Nitex Center. They're outshooting the Ice Rays by a significant margin, 11-3. That first period has not yet concluded. Tomas Brejka, good to see him contributing after that long and scary injury to his arm. Scored the first goal just a minute and 46 seconds in. Colton Meekoff again responded. What a season he is having from the back end for Corpus Christi. And the Rays trying to go into that second period tied or perhaps with a lead. The Springfield Junior Blues and the Minnesota Wilderness still scoreless up at the Northwoods Credit Union Arena in Cloquet, Minnesota. And the Minnesota Magicians in Minot this evening taking on Max Reisinger and the Minotauros. It's a 1-0 game in favor of Minot. Grayson Gavin and Jack Murphy came together for the lone goal of that game. Max Reisinger has been held to just one shot. Meanwhile, back at the KYC, the game you all care about, just about back underway here as the players get set for the first face-off of period 2. Eric Yeager's line is back out there. He's flanked by Nikita Litviak and former Amarillo Bull Trent Dillinger, who is playing in Ben Lowndes' place here tonight. Michael Foreman and the Amarillo Bulls starting line back out there to start period 2. The second period is brought to you by American Classifieds. The face-off has taken place and we are back underway. So, Austin Bolio and Cole Norris are both in their respective penalty boxes as a long shot from Dillinger was off target. Good pass there for Yeager. Takes it in behind the Amarillo net, tries a wrap around. He put it through the net mouth. Litviak has it in the corner. He has to spin from Fromberger, and Ian Gendro has blown his whistle. Not sure if he lost sight of it or perhaps the net. Looks like the left peg has been knocked catawampus, so gotta fix that. Bolio and Cole Norris were both handed unsportsmanlike conduct penalties just 2 minutes aside. So my guess is that they said something prior to that last face-off of period 1. That Gendro didn't like. Ryan Burnett wheels the puck in behind the Bulls net. Garrett Van Wy takes a hit there from Jeff Salau. Salau wedging for it, knocked back to Burnett. He's tied up there, tries to lift the stick of Liam Ferguson, but here come the Bulls on the rush. It is Phil Fromberg, or Gernhofer rather, wristing a shot that's smothered up at the goal mouth by Justin Kappelmaster, who's now got his 6th stop of the evening. Justin Kappelmaster has had a career season for the Wichita Falls Wildcats. He is 3rd best in the entire North American Hockey League in goals against average with a very impressive 1.97 goals against per game on average, which is very impressive. He is 4th, sole possession of 4th place for save percentage as well. And as far as wins are concerned, well, he's 3rd. He is 3rd behind Gavin Nieto of the Fairbanks Ice Dogs, and of course Hunter Shepard also having a tremendous year for the Bismarck Bobcats. 2 teams which have been around for an extremely long time. The Fairbanks Ice Dogs, Bismarck Bobcats, and the Wichita Falls Wildcats, I believe the 3 longest standing North American Hockey League teams. All 3 of them have the winningest goaltenders this season, as Burnett tried to slip one into the goal, didn't work out. Then he tried to give it back to the point, also didn't work out. It's picked off by Liam Ferguson, who chips it past a couple of Wildcats defensemen in Russell and Rounds. Rounds picks it up from Kappelmaster. He will work his way out now to the neutral zone. Rounds will carry it in himself. Burnett did well to keep himself onside. Rounds ran into some traffic. It was Jake Rosenbaum who gave it to himself off the half boards past Burnett and then dumps it past everybody. Albrecht has the puck in his own corner, gave it out to Alexei Poikla. Good couple of touch passes. Excellent breakout here by the Wildcats as Gilreath tried to slide it all the way across ice for Austin Albrecht. Rounds just lays into an Amarillo Bull along the sideboards in front of the Bulls bench as Kappelmaster pounces on that puck. Austin Bolio and Cole Norris now allowed to rejoin their teammates. Pretty good crowd here tonight at the K. Yeager Coliseum. I'd venture to guess a good 2,000 plus here at the KYC on $5 ticket night. Remember, folks, for the rest of the season, we've got great deals. Deals galore, $5 tickets for the rest of March, and then the last 2 regular season home games are free for everyone. Free admittance for all. You really can't beat that. And playoff tickets for season ticket holders, of course, on sale now. Of those games are just $10 as Albrecht did well to out-hustle the Bulls defense to negate the icing. Playoff games will be on on April 14th and 15th. I believe possibly it's the 15th. I think it's the 15th and the 16th. It's that Friday and Saturday. I believe it's the 15th and 16th as Rosa tries to turn one on goal, and it was easily intercepted by Phil Fromberger. The Wildcats have secured home ice advantage for the first round. That is no longer in question. The only thing that does remain in question is securing home ice for the first 2 rounds. And in order to do that, they need the first place spot in the division. They don't have that on lock yet, though they're hanging on to it by a meager 5-point margin over the Lone Star Brahmas. Were they in any other division, aside from the Midwest, of course, with Fairbanks, were the Wildcats in the Central Division or the East Division, they would not have to worry about any team catching them. But the Lone Star Brahmas, with the 3rd best winning percentage in the North American Hockey League behind the Ice Dogs and the Wildcats, as a quick shot by Paisan is patted away by Baker, and the puck is pushed into the far corner. Bolio is going to be first to it. Drop back. Russell shoots. He scores! Rourke Russell with an incredible shot from the left point, high on the glove side. Just blew it right past Brian Baker. And that is Rourke Russell's 4th goal as a Wildcat, and it's 4-1. This kid, Rourke Russell, the youngest defenseman the Wildcats have. He has got all kinds of talent, I'll tell you that much. He moves virtually effortlessly all over the ice. Quite an incredible shot. The National Hockey League's top draft prospects list for a large portion of the season. Really just all sorts of offensive upside. Got the ability to get his shots through traffic, and again, his skating ability. Very impressive. Drafted by the Green Bay Gamblers in the United States Hockey League. Committed to University of Miami of Ohio. Got another season of juniors, of course, after this year before he attends Miami, so we'll see if he decides to play in Green Bay or not next season. He has the talent, but of course there's no guarantees when trying out for those USHL teams. That we saw it with Shane Kuzmeski, an extremely talented defenseman, but just couldn't quite make the cut. As Poikla wheels to the outside, holds and fires, and I think it was fought off by the glove of Baker and punched off the mesh. We're a quarter of the way through period 2. It's a 4-1 hockey game in favor of the Wildcats here at the KYC. We're really giving these fans their money's worth here tonight, and then some. Nick Rosa lines up to take the face-off. The 20s line, for the most part, has been held quiet, aside from that power play goal scored by Johnny Lazarus, but that was not the 20s line. That was the power play unit. We'll see what they can do out here. Nick Rosa and Austin Albrecht working hard for that puck along the corner boards. Albrecht goes down, courtesy of Matt Meininger, the former Jackalope. Took him right out of the play. Now Sipus in behind the net. Albrecht rather, tried to center for Rosa. Picked off before it got to him. Wildcats will dump it back in. Matt Meininger sets up shop behind his own net. Molinaro banks the puck ahead, but not out. Held alive by Jeff Baum. His shot didn't get through the maze of Bulls in front of him. Amarillo has just iced the puck, but no call. Matt Nels, one of the Bulls' alternate captains, will flip it right back in. The Bulls complete a forward line change. Joey Molinaro. Trickles the puck up to neutral ice. Paisan takes a hit there from Jeff Salau, who read the play like a book and jumped right in. Salau now replaced by Phil Fromberger. Ferguson jumps, tried to keep the play alive. Baum chopped it back out to center. Ran into the linesman there, it looked like. Brad Wilkinson. Now Ferguson gave it across to the right circle for a shot. Waffle boarded. Kapellmaster Singerhouse couldn't get a follow-up chance on goal. Now Baum will chop it around the boards, held in at the right point. Long shot, tipped on goal. Another alert save made by Kapellmaster on Singerhouse. Now Gernhofer turns it, and it flutters in the air. It hits something out in front. Gernhofer has to reset. Shoots again, and it's soaked up by Kapellmaster. That's 10 saves on the night for the Wildcats netminder. Wildcats win the defensive zone draw. Rourke Russell failed to clear it, held alive at the blue line, and the shot there by Hall was blocked down by Yeager. Now a quick shot from the left side, easy stick save by Brian Baker, who's now 15 of 19. And folks, with Anton Martinson out with a lower body injury, Alex Cathcart is the backup goaltender dressed for the Amarillo Bulls tonight. Cathcart, according to the statistics, he has played in one game, but he has not made a save. So it's probably just put in late at the end of one of those games earlier in the regular season for the Amarillo Bulls. But he has spent the majority of the season for Amarillo scouting and logging film. Really spent the season in Anton Martinson's shadow. So if Baker continues to allow goals, we'll see if Cathcart gets a legitimate look here with the Bulls eliminated from postseason contention and nothing to lose. Yeager holds the puck along the half boards, couldn't get it back to the blue line, gets it back and shoots, went to the side of the goal. Litviak couldn't do much with it. Now it's Dillinger setting up Yeager for a shot that's swallowed again by Brian Baker. He's increased his save percentage to 75% with that save. Of course, is not ideal, but he'll take it. A couple of these goals he's had really not a whole lot of a chance on. You can't blame the goaltender when is being outshot 20-10. There's a quick shot, went off the glass and behind the net. Van Wy couldn't tuck it into the goal. I think it hit a stick out in front. He'll slip it back to Gilraith, whose shot was blocked by George Mika. Meininger had his stick lifted by Poikla, and Meininger will just shoot it off the mesh. Meininger giving Garrett Van Wy a couple of pushes and shoves down there. Odessa Jackalopes in the Topeka Roadrunners game, turning into looks like quite a barn burner. It's already 3-2 early on in period 2. Means a couple more goals were scored since we last updated you on the status of that game. And that's a game the Wildcats would like to pay a close eye to because, well, they're still awaiting the makeup of the first round of the Robertson Cup playoffs. If they can manage to hang on to that number 1 seed, they will, of course, play the number 4 seed. Sarnowski had it in front of the net, but it was at his skates, so he couldn't shoot. Then he runs into Gilraith and behind the Cats' goal. Burnett takes a swipe at it, failed to clear it. Rounds gave it in behind for Gilraith. He will bounce it off the wall. Van Wy's got it with a 3-on-3 developing. And Burnett breaking, couldn't split the D. Poikla's shot, fought off by Baker. Burnett will chip it back in deep. Poikla along the end boards. Kicks it back to the left point well for Baum. And Alexei Poikla undoubtedly played some soccer growing up in Finland. Really, we can safely assume that about any of these European guys, and showed his soccer skills there. A nice kick right back to the left point for Jeff Baum, and I'll tell you one thing, folks. It is not easy to kick that puck with a whole lot of accuracy when you're wearing those skates, especially when you're moving at the speed these guys do. Rosa wins the draw cleanly. Baum takes the shot through the screen. Baker never saw it, but it missed well wide. Now Albrecht takes down Nels in pursuit of that loose puck. Albrecht wins possession, then had his pocket picked by Nels. Nels being worked against by Johnny Lazarus, who outworked him and got it back to the left point again. Baum's shot off target. Now Rosa in too deep. Rosa gets it behind the Bulls net, calling for it. Sipus to the blue line, trying to get his second of the night. His shot blocked by the traffic out in front of the net. Now Joe DiBenedetto failed to clear. Good keep by Albrecht. Got it back from Rosa. Albrecht left circle, took a shot, blocked by Fromberger. Follow-up shot, stopped by Baker. Rosa has it in the far corner. The Wildcats buzzing for their third goal. Sipus calling for that puck. He gets it from Lazarus. Baum wants it now. Sipus moves in and shoots, blocked by Joe DiBenedetto. Now Sipus has it again at the right point. Lazarus calling for it. Sipus will try to flip it across in his direction. He gets it there. Lazarus couldn't get it back to the left point. Baum did well to keep it in after it was chopped off his glove. Now in front of the net, wraparound try. Left pad save by Brian Baker on Austin Albrecht. Now given back to the right point again. Sipus, Albrecht, right circle, takes the shot. Glove save by Brian Baker. He's going to hang on to that one. and rightfully so. We've officially crossed the halfway point of regulation time. 9:58 to go in period 2. It's a 4-1 game in favor of the Wildcats, who are buzzing for their 5th goal of the night. 23-10 the shots on goal. Brian Baker has just done some pretty impressive leather flashing with a couple of good saves. As we go to our second period media timeout. Give you a better update of that Topeka Roadrunners Odessa Jackalopes game. Marcus Russell scored his 2nd goal of the night after being set up by a recently committed Sammy Tavernier. Sammy Tavernier, who recently committed to Merrimack College in Hockey East, a Division I program. Very well deserved for him. He's a tremendous young player. Just 18 years old, out of Morzine, France. Long way from home. He's done a really tremendous job for the Topeka Roadrunners since arriving with them. He set up Marcus Russell for his 2nd goal of the night. Then Zach Zeck responded just seconds later. Looks like the very next shift, 22 seconds later, Zach Zeck responded. So it's a tight game. It's one certainly worth keeping a close eye on here. 3-2 in favor of Topeka. About halfway through period 2. In all likelihood, the Wildcats will be matched up against either Odessa or Corpus Christi in the first round of the Robertson Cup playoffs or the South Division semifinals, which is the round in which they were eliminated last season by the Topeka Roadrunners. Now, there was an extra round that was required last season because of the just the way the divisions were aligned. The Wildcats needed to play an extra round to qualify for the division semifinals, and they swept the Rio Grande Valley Killer Bees to get themselves there. And they were ultimately defeated by the Topeka Roadrunners in that following round. Adam Goodser finds himself in the Wildcats penalty box now. The Bulls converted on their last power play. We'll see if they can do it again. They're 1 for 2 on the night. Clean face-off win by the Cats, and they have cleared the puck the length of the ice. Molinaro weaves through center ice, gains the blue line, and dumps it in deep. Joe DiBenedetto battling hard for that puck for the Bulls. Santoro goes in after it. Litviak beats him to it, and he will clear. 8:40 to go in period 2. The Wildcats with a 4-1 lead over their West Texas counterparts from the Panhandle, about 3.5 hours northwest of Wichita Falls. Litviak sidesteps Michael Foreman, but then he lost it in his skates. Nick Rosa made a nice play in behind his own net, and again the Cats have cleared. Baker leaves it for Jeff Salau. Got an assist to his credit this evening after took a one-timer on the power play. Rebound bounced right to Cole Norris. Here's Gernhofer. He's tripped up. No penalty upcoming here. Puck given back to the left side. It's Jeff Salau. Salau takes the shot through the screen, blocked by Kappelmaster, and the rebound was sent wide by Cole Norris, and the Cats have fired it down the length of the ice once more. The Bulls really want this power play goal. They've got another half a minute to get one. Jeff Salau has it now with Fromberger. I'm wondering if Tyler Hall has been demoted off the power play defensive pair, but I don't see him on the Bulls bench, folks. Tyler Hall is not on the Bulls bench, so we hope he's okay. He's not in the penalty box either, so there might be an equipment malfunction or perhaps some sort of injury. Puck has been redirected up off the mesh and out of play. Adam Goodser is out of the box. The Wildcats improve to 2 for 3 on the Parkway Grill penalty kill tonight. Trying to improve even further on a very, very impressive season on the penalty kill. Going into this game, they had come through on 86.5% of their opportunities while shorthanded this season, head and shoulders above what it was last year. They were near the bottom of the entire North American Hockey League. Mediocre at best on the penalty kill. That has changed dramatically this season. Unfortunately, I wasn't here last season, so I can't quite speculate as to the reasoning behind this vast improvement. But I can say I've been very impressed by the work ethic of so many of these young, very young players the Wildcats have. One of the youngest teams in the entire league. Burnett turns it on goal. Baker jumps on it. He makes the save. But forwards and defensemen alike, it's contagious on this team. You see it. It starts with the coaches, stems down to the veterans, stems down to the rookies, up and down the lineup. Just a humble, hard-working group. If I had to guess, that is the reason their penalty kill has improved so much from last season. And of course, the goaltending, which many fans here, many local fans believe is the best goaltending duo the Wildcats have ever had. Last season, of course, was nothing to scoff at. Here's a 2-on-1. It's the Wildcats on a rush. It has worked. Russell, good saucer pass for Lazarus. Back to Russell. He put it just wide. I think Jeff Salau got a piece of that. Russell had a gaping wide open net, and I think Jeff Salau broke it up last second. Lazarus gave it across. Russell hungry for that puck. The Bulls have broken it up and send it back out to center. Jake Dalton will assume control. Going back to last season's goaltending tandem, Austin Shaw, who is now playing Division I college hockey in the ECAC for Princeton University. I've heard a very intelligent young man, Austin Shaw. Of course, you kind of have to be to commit to Princeton. Also a pretty good goaltender as well, though he had his struggles in the postseason, from what I've been told. David Zevnik, who was injured early last season, didn't get a chance to play as many games as he would have liked. This season, of course, with Justin Kappelmaster and Julian Syme, a young emerging goaltender. 18 years of age as of February. Adam Goodsir put it in front there for Paisan, who ricocheted the puck just wide of the goal. Sipus on his opposite point has the puck. Will he shoot again? No, he turns it to the left circle. It's Austin Bolio there. Bolio tried to fire through lots of traffic, went off a Bull's stick and flutters into the glove of Baker. And he hangs on with 4.5 to go in period two. It's a 4-1 game in favor of the Wildcats here at the KYC, and they're really giving these fine folks here at the Yager Coliseum a lot to cheer about here on this Friday night. $5 ticket night. Tons of good deals for the rest of this season. Really good monetary incentive to help to pack this place even more. Wildcats 7th in the North American Hockey League in average attendance this season. Considering the market and the size of the town, the location, can't really complain. Here's another 2-on-1 for the Wildcats. Litviak has it. Dillinger to the goal. Litviak holds. Deeks tries to shoot. He lost possession of the puck and tripped over Baker. Now here come the Bulls on the counterattack. It's Joey Molinaro gains a line. Onside. Played it across hoping for the trailer. Comes all the way out to the right wing for Litviak. Put it across the blue line for Dillinger. Tried to drop pass it off for Michael Rounds. Collision takes place there in front of the linesman, in front of the penalty boxes, as Dillinger gets back on the puck in the neutral zone. Lays it softly across the Bulls line. Phil Fromberger will pick it off and drop it back to his defensive partner. Jeff Salau fires it back out to center. Molinaro bobbles it. Round steals it. Van Wy carries it across the blue line. He's got Yeager with him. Van Wy a bit too fast for his own good there. Lost possession of the puck to Phil Fromberger, who chips it ahead for Molinaro. Very tired at the end of a shift. Gives an extra shove there to Ryan Burnett as he slams his stick on the ice in frustration as he works his way back to the Bulls bench. Ryan Burnett takes down an Amarillo Bull who tried to hit him. That was Phil Fromberger took the brunt end of that collision. Fromberger will dump the puck on goal. Kapellmeister sticks it into the corner for Russell. Behind his own net for Rounds. Rounds will fire it off the boards. Bounced away from Burnett. Meininger carries into the high slot. Couldn't do much with it. Van Wy nearing the end of his shift. Gets it past the red line, but not much further. Joe DiBenedetto on the back check, cuts it off and gives it back. Rosenbaum will leave it there. 2.5 to go in period 2. 4-1 Wildcats. Kapellmeister turns it to Rourke Russell. Russell put it between the skates of Michael Rounds. Rounds back in control. Looks to make a good breakout pass, and he does. He finds Johnny Lazarus open on the right side. Lazarus slowly and deliberately works it down the boards. His pass was intended there for Albrecht. It was picked off. Back to Baum. His shot blocked by Singerhouse. Rolls into the far corner. It's Austin Albrecht picking it up. He will work it back in deep. Gernhofer dangerously carries in front, and a backhand shot sent wide by Albrecht. Santoro trying to kill some time off. 1:50 to go in period 2. Wildcats buzzing in the attacking zone as a stuff attempt from the side of the goal by Rosa is smothered up there by Brian Baker's glove. $1:43 to go in period 2. 4-1 Wildcats, 25-16 the shots on goal. And I'd like to give a shout out to Mike and Leslie Rounds, tuning in from Mount Pleasant, Michigan, the hometown of Michael Rounds. Thank you very much to Mike and Leslie for enjoying some Wildcats hockey on your Friday night. Hope you're having a wonderful evening up in Mount Pleasant, Michigan. Hope it has been a pleasant evening for you, and we hope the Wildcats can contribute to making it an even better one. I'm sure they've done that thus far with a 4-1 edge over the Amarillo Bulls. Norris is in with a good steal. Put it through the net mouth. It goes wide harmlessly, and the Wildcats are back out to center ice. Adam Goodser, left side, tried to give it across for Bolio. He was well defended there. Baum got it deep. Bolio turns it on goal. Routine save by Baker. Paisan picks up the puck, dishes it back to Sipus. Now Bolio fired. It was blocked by George Mika. Bolio will give it back to Dom Sipus. He works his way in. Gave it to the left corner boards, and it's slammed out of there by Matt Nels. Sipus recorrals possession in the neutral zone. Here comes Cole Norris. Flips it on goal. Easy save, Kapellmeister. The last minute of play is brought to you by La Quinta Inn & Suites, the official host hotel of your Wichita Falls Wildcats. Here they come on a 3-on-2 rush with tons of speed. Litviak takes it wide, tries a wraparound. It goes through the blue paint, and the Bulls recover with half a minute remaining in the period. Tyler Gernhofer takes a cross-check, gets it in deep. Rattles off the boards, couldn't be held in at the right point by Tyler Hall, who's back out there for Amarillo. Good to see that. He missed quite a bit of time earlier on. Not sure what the cause was. The Bulls have just cleared it from 200 feet on goal for Kapellmeister to make an easy save. 6 seconds remaining in the period. Dillinger in pursuit of the puck, chopped away there by Phil Fromberger, and that's going to do it. 40 minutes in the books, and the Wildcats are off to a 4-1 lead after 2 periods have expired here at the K. Yeager Coliseum. They receive a very well-deserved round of applause from a very appreciative K. Yeager Coliseum crowd. Here with just 20 minutes remaining in this hockey game. If the Wildcats can take a couple of points here, they will make life more difficult for the Lone Star Brahmas. They're facing some challenges already with some of their players suspended after that that little Donnybrook that went down last Saturday night. So in light of that, if the Wildcats can scrape together a couple of wins here against the Amarillo Bulls, they will make it very, very difficult. Basically force the Lone Star Brahmas to have to win out in order to have any chance of taking the first place spot in the South Division. The lone goal of the period was scored by Rourke Russell, his 4th goal as a Wildcat, 4th goal of the season. A very impressive shot from the left point. And boy, was that a ripper. 4-1 the score going into period 3. We're going to take a step aside here for our second intermission timeout. When we come back, again, we'll break down this game for you in a little better detail. We'll also give you your second out-of-town scoreboard update when we return. Stay tuned, folks. All right, welcome back, everybody. We hope you've enjoyed this broadcast as well as the hockey game. I'm sure you've enjoyed the hockey game. It's been a good one if you're a Wildcats fan. It's a 4-1 game in favor of the Cats. 26-18 the shots on goal. The Bulls really started to pick up the pace a little bit in that second period. Had a dozen shots on target. Kapellmeister stopped them all. He looks to be on his game tonight, as usual, and top 17 of 18. Brian Baker, on the other hand, looking a little bit shaky, but a lot of these goals, he hasn't had a whole lot of a chance to stop. And especially that last shot, boy, that was just a BB from Rourke Russell from the left point. His first goal since February 27th, the last time the Wildcats played the Amarillo Bulls. Excuse me, not the last time. They played them again on March 2nd, but Rourke Russell's made a habit of scoring against these Amarillo Bulls. He had a couple against the Lone Star Brahmas way back in October as well. And those are his four goals of the season. And boy, none were more beautiful than that last one. Absolute laser. And Brian Baker, I don't care which goaltender is in net. Any goaltender in this league probably wouldn't have a chance on that. Through the screen, no chance of seeing the puck, no chance of stopping it. The Wildcats lead 4-1 off that beautiful goal. For your out-of-town scoreboard updates, we'll start with the North American Hockey League. We'll eventually work our way to the National Hockey League. Tonight, a relatively busy night in the NHL. First for our league, looks like the Austin Rebels have mounted a comeback. They were down 2-1 last we checked at the end of the second period. They have won their game 3-2 over the Johnstown Tomahawks. The Janesville Jets have fallen behind the Coulee Region Chill in their hunt for that last playoff spot in the Midwest Division, have scored a second goal. Joey Sofo on the power play set up by Nico Luca for Coulee Region, and it's 2-1 Chill early on in period 3 at the Green Island Ice Arena up in La Crosse, Wisconsin. The Brookings Blizzard with a 3-1 lead over the Austin Bruins. On the road, the Brookings Blizzard have struggled this season. They're in last place in the Central Division, but it looks like if they can hang on to that lead, they will win tonight's game against the Robertson Cup runners-up from last season and take their 20th win of the campaign. The Central Division is probably as up for grabs as any, although it looks like now there's finally some discrepancy early on in the season. Boy, there was just so much parity in that division. You really couldn't tell. One day this team was in first place, the next day they were in fourth. It was really just so close, and now there's finally looks like there's some separation in that division. The Bismarck Bobcats and the Minot Minotauros have both clinched playoff spots, and they've got a comfortable margin over the third place Austin Bruins, an 11-point margin at that. The Aberdeen Wings, the Minnesota Magicians, and the Brookings Blizzard, it looks like will all be battling for that fourth and final playoff spot in the Central Division this season. The Odessa Jackalopes and the Topeka Roadrunners. Boy, has that turned into a barn burner. 6-5 Topeka up at the Kansas Expo Center. No goaltending, no defense tonight, folks. To be honest with you, I really wish I was there. Not to say I'm not having fun here, because this has been one heck of a hockey game, but boy, it would just be really fun to call a game like that. 6-5 Topeka, 11 goals. If my memory serves me right, I think that's only happened one time this season for the Wildcats, in which there were 11 goals scored in a single hockey game. It came way back at the Showcase tournament. Game 3, day 3 of the Showcase against the Kenai River Brown Bears. It was an 8-3 victory for the Wildcats on that night. And I remember broadcasting that game. That was just one of those games where a team builds chemistry, it builds familiarity very early on in the season. I think it was just the 5th game of the season this year. After that victory, the Wildcats would improve to 4-1-0. Boy, that was just one of those games where everybody was contributing. Everyone was clearly having fun out there, and really built set the foundation for some of the chemistry that the players on the Wildcats have this season. Of course, critics can just point out that they were playing against Kenai River, the worst team in the North American Hockey League this season by far, with just single digits in points, just 9 points this year. They've only won 3 games, but doesn't matter who the team is playing at this level, you still have to show up. And if you sit on your heels, you will lose. The Wildcats certainly did not. They took advantage of the opportunity they had. Played a big role in setting the groundwork for this team's future. The very next day, they were disappointed, however, by the New Jersey Titans in a shootout game that most people believe the Wildcats should have won. Had they won, they would have been the only team aside from the Fairbanks Ice Dogs to have walked away from that tournament with a perfect record. Instead, it was the New Jersey Titans who walked away with a perfect 4-0 record from that tournament. Looking back, it was a tough defeat, a bitter pill to swallow in that shootout loss, but one that I think was also necessary for the Wildcats. That is what triggered such a hungry response and an incredible start to the season on home ice. They would go over a month after that defeat, undefeated at the KYC, and as of right now, it's been nearly 3 months. It is March 18th, and the Wildcats have yet to lose a game on home ice in 2016. We've gotten a bit sidetracked, folks. We apologize. I had to refresh the page just to make sure there wasn't another goal scored up at the Kansas Expo Center, but no, it remains 6-5. A couple of players vying for hat tricks in this game. One for Odessa, one for Topeka. Hampus Shodal for Odessa, Marcus Russell for Topeka, each of them with 2 goals. And it looks like Luka Maver's got 2 as well. So 3 players vying for a hat trick in that game. 6-5 Roadrunners as the Jackalopes continue to battle for their postseason lives. Marcus Russell, Zach Zeck, Derek Brown, Gray Marr, J.B. Baker, John O'Connor, Luka Maver, and Hampus Shodal each scored in the second period. Wow. Perhaps even more surprisingly, both goaltenders Juho Niku and Dean Schatzer remain in the game. The Aberdeen Wings still being shut out by the Bismarck Bobcats up in Aberdeen, South Dakota at the Odie Ice Center. Looks like Aberdeen finally came through on a penalty shot. Tucker DeYoung cut the Bismarck lead in half, so it's 2-1 Bobcats. The Corpus Christi Ice Rays have pulled ahead, folks. They lead 2-1 over the Lone Star Brahmas. Out about 100 miles east of here at the Nitex Arena in suburban Fort Worth. Toby Kircher came through for Corpus Christi after being set up by Stevie Bryant and Cody Lichtenvoort. So the Ice Rays have their first lead of the game. More than halfway through period 2. The Brahmas, who have really, it's been well documented how well they play in that building. It's an intimidating barn to play in. Everybody knows it. The Brahmas last season had the best home record in the entire North American Hockey League. I think they only lost 2, maybe 3 regulation games there all season. Similar to what the Wildcats' record is on home ice this season, if they win out the rest of the home games here at the KYC. If they can manage to do that, then it'll be a perfect record in 2016 on home ice. At least until the postseason rolls around. The Minnesota Wilderness and the Springfield Junior Blues are all tied up at 1 goal apiece. The Junior Blues also battling for that 4th and final playoff spot. So the Coulee Region Chill hoping Minnesota can take that W from Springfield tonight in their own rink up in Cloquet, Minnesota. The Robertson Cup champions having another pretty strong season. The Minnesota Magicians have pulled ahead of the Minot Minotauros. They've come from behind. They now lead 3-1 early on in period 2. We'll see what Max Reisinger and Marty Murray and company can do to respond to that. Meanwhile, a couple of games much later 7:30 p.m. Alaska time. The Fairbanks Ice Dogs hosting the Wilkes-Barre Scranton Knights, and the Kenai River Brown Bears hosting the New Jersey Titans. So a couple of East Division teams out in Alaska this evening. Now for your NHL scores update. My Chicago Blackhawks finally looks like some good things are happening to them. I think they're on a 3 or 4 game losing skid. They have not played well of late. Unfortunately, had the displeasure of watching them play the Philadelphia Flyers earlier this week. Very disappointing. A game they probably should have won. And very fortunate bounce for Philadelphia would give the Flyers the 3-2 victory. So the Hawks hoping to snap that losing skid tonight. They lead 2-0 in Winnipeg after 2 periods of play. Patrick Kane and Marian Hossa have both tallied in the game. Colorado Avalanche out in Calgary taking on the Calgary Flames, the favorite team of the Wildcats general manager Paul Baxter, a team he used to play on. That team, his very good friend Darryl Sutter, now the head coach of the Los Angeles Kings, used to coach way back in 2004. Darryl Sutter took the Calgary Flames all the way to the Stanley Cup Finals against the Tampa Bay Lightning. Lost in Game 7 in heartbreaking fashion. Ruslan Fedotenko scoring 2 goals, of course, in that game. A 2-1 defeat of the Calgary Flames down in Tampa. But anyways, that game 1-1. Matt Stajan scored the lone goal for the Flames, and former Dallas star Jurka Jokipaka had an assist, as did TJ Brody. Very, very impressive and, in my opinion, underrated defenseman for Calgary. As for the Colorado Avalanche, Eric Johnson scored his 11th goal of the season to respond to Calgary's goal. So that's Colorado's lone goal scorer, Eric Johnson, the first overall draft pick back in 2006. Actually went ahead of some impressive players in that draft, including Jonathan Toews. Went ahead of Toews, went ahead of Kessel, went ahead of Jordan Staal, many other players. The St. Louis Blues drafted him extremely quickly. They knew they had a chance to get a very solid defenseman. Unfortunately, it didn't work out for them in the long run, but they did get a very good piece in exchange for Eric Johnson in Kevin Shattenkirk. So not a total bust for the St. Louis Blues, though I think in retrospect, if they had the opportunity to snag Jonathan Toews, they knew the player that he would turn into. And I don't think they would have passed him up if they had a chance to go back in time. The Vancouver Canucks scoreless in Edmonton against the Oilers after 1 period of play. And believe it or not, the Oilers' young phenom Connor McDavid, who's expected to be in the race for the Calder Trophy for the NHL's best rookie, has been held off the score sheet in Edmonton, and that's been a rarity. He's been a point-per-game player as a rookie, including he had an injury this season. And looking at some advanced stats earlier this afternoon, he is head and shoulders above all rookies in a very interesting statistic, that being high percentage scoring chances that occur when he's on the ice. Head and shoulders. I was very impressed reading the article. It was a well-written article. Head and shoulders above any other rookie he was competing with for that. A lot of other rookies beat him in points, of course, because of the injury he sustained earlier this season in that game against Philadelphia. But you know, despite the scoring prowess of Artemi Panarin, despite the defensive capabilities of Shane Gostisbehere of the Flyers, a very tremendous 22-year-old defenseman for Hackstall and the Flyers, who is also most likely going to be in the running for the best rookie this season. But Connor McDavid certainly deserving of that opportunity as well. And that'll be an interesting race to follow as the NHL season goes on. The Buffalo Sabres up 3-1 against the Ottawa Senators. The Washington Capitals, no surprises, up 4-1 against the Nashville Predators. And finally, the Ducks and Bruins will be playing at 9 p.m. Central Time. So that game will be starting momentarily. In the meantime, this game, the one you're all tuning in to watch, just about underway again. Third period action just seconds away as Adam Goodsir lines up across Michael Foreman to take the first faceoff of period 3. Strap yourselves in. It's going to be a bumpy ride. Third period hockey, brought to you by American Classifieds, is just about underway. Santoro jumped the gun on that faceoff drop, so we're going to reset Try this again. Foreman wins the opening draw of period 3. Back underway. Tighten up your chin straps. The Wildcats have got to hang on to this 3-goal lead. We can expect to see the Bulls coming out with everything they have. They're not a team who rolls over and dies. We have established this time and time again, despite their place in the standings. You've got to give them credit. I've never once seen them just give up at any point in the game. Thank you very much to Greg and Sue Van Wy, who are tuning in as usual all the way from Seattle, Washington, watching their son Garrett playing another game here down in Wichita Falls as the puck flutters over the goal. Kapellmeister was really confused as to its whereabouts, but the puck ends up in the neutral zone, glove down behind his back from Paisan. Chops it into a vacant corner, now occupied by Phil Fromberger. Thank you very much to the Van Wy family for all the support that you give the Wildcats on fasthockey.com. Kapellmeister really faked out Ferguson there with that breakout pass. Garrett has been playing really well for the Wildcats of late. I know the trainer was his roommate down in Corpus this past weekend when he went to visit there. The trainer, Brian Deathridge, was very impressed by Garrett Van Wy's play. Told me several times he thought he was the best player on the team as far as generating scoring opportunities. Can't say I disagreed with him in that first game especially. He really drove the puck hard to the net, earned some grade A scoring opportunities for himself. Unfortunately, just never quite managed to finish. But he's been doing the hard part. All it takes is one, and a lot of times shooters, once they get that monkey off their back, the rest comes pretty naturally, and they just start falling in. Molinaro chips it out to center ice. Nikita Litviak is all over it. Looked like he tripped Joey Molinaro. No penalty. Molinaro just now getting back up. Gilraith leads the rush. Tries to poke it past the goaltender Baker, who beat him to it. Now Dillinger takes a shot. Punched away by the blocker of Baker. Now it's Yeager. Out hustling Cole Norris, his man to the puck. Yeager takes it in deep into the right corner. Norris still battling hard for it. Takes Yeager down to the ice. Van Wy along the right half boards. Chips it past Norris. Then tried to get it past Salau. Now in deep. Van Wy ran out of real estate down there. Lost it to the side of the goal. Now it's Michael Rounds. On the puck, he shoots. Baker was squatting down, never saw the shot, and it ricochets out of play. 17.5 minutes remain in period 3. 4-1 Wildcats. 28-18 the shots on goal. Cats hoping to make it 10 straight against Amarillo with a victory tonight if they can pull it off. The only game the Wildcats have lost against the Bulls this season was the first time they played them this season. It was on November 6th. It was a 4-1 defeat. A game in which the Wildcats were just not prepared to play. All around, just not a good performance, but ever since then, the season series has been one-sided, to say the least. Here comes Jake Rosenbaum. The former Wilkes-Barre Scranton Knight dumps the puck around the end wall. Kapellmeister got a piece of it. It's picked up and turned back out to neutral ice. Matt Meininger got it into Wichita Falls territory. Now Poikala sets up Garrett Van Wy, fakes the slap shot, runs into Rosenbaum, but he gets the puck deep. Burnett takes a hit there from Jacob Nitschke. Van Wy in behind the goal, centers. Nobody was there. Rosa was just getting onto the ice after the line change was made, and now Poikala and Van Wy, or Burnett rather, the last remnants of the Poikala line now back onto the Wildcats bench. The 20s line back out there for John LaFontaine and the Cats. Lazarus had his pocket picked. Here comes Rourke Russell. Didn't like Rosenbaum right in his mitts, so he will circle it back. Russell dumps it in. Rosenbaum gets the puck. Meininger clears out to center. DiBenedetto is wrapped up. Albrecht tried to punch it to Lazarus. Good breakup there, and here come the Bulls. Put across the line for DiBenedetto from Fromberger, and another save made by Kapellmeister. 18 for 19 on the night. The faceoff will take place. The Kapellmasters left now. Michael Foreman and Adam Goodsir. The two lines which started tonight, both on the ice, as Kapellmaster fights off a quick shot right off the faceoff, and then he's down in the butterfly position, and the Wildcats can't clear. It's kept in by Santoro on the second chance. Goodsir chopped it past him. Now it's Bolio gaining the blue line. Bolio fires a shot, right pad save, Baker. Now Phil Fromberger gave it in behind the net for Tyler Hall. Hall couldn't split the ice. He was trying to thread the needle there for a breaking Santoro. Good breakup. The Wildcats have done a tremendous job in this game of anticipating neutral zone passes, breakout passes. They've gotten sticks in the passing lanes, and they have broken up outlet passes with aplomb in this game. Michael Rounds left point, Gilraith right point, takes the shot, fought off by Baker. I think it was tipped by Paisan right in front of the goaltender. Now Rounds put it into the goal mouth, picked off by Hall, given away to Rounds, set up to Goodsir. His shot was blocked, and that stung the Bull who did it. Joe DiBenedetto ailing back up to his skates. And, well, there's a reason he wears that C on his chest. He loves to block shots. He really does a tremendous job. Joe DiBenedetto, native of Anchorage, Alaska, getting himself into shooting lanes and blocking the shots. Sacrificing his bodies for the good of his team. If I'm not mistaken, that's part of the reason he missed so many games this season with an injury. That style of play. Gernhofer threw it out in front, goes all the way to the back, and a quick slap shot. Kapellmaster kicked it into his own net, and boy, he is going to rue that one. Kapellmaster had to slide from left to right. The puck caromed off the end boards, went off of Kapellmaster's right skate, and he can't believe it. He looks up to the rafters, very disappointed. He can't believe he just did that, but that happens as a goaltender. To be quite honest with you folks, I'm surprised it doesn't happen more often. That is a very tricky play. As a goaltender, when the puck caroms off the end boards, your natural reaction is to scurry yourself back to the goal line and cover up that part of the net, because if you're caught too aggressively, you're too far out, that's when it's most likely to hit you and bounce back in. Kapellmaster got back into the net as quickly as he possibly could. Just a very unfortunate bounce for him. And Jeff Salau with another point. He has been a Wildcats killer since joining the Amarillo Bulls in late January. As Van Wy's backhand shot is turned aside by Brian Baker. Van Wy tips it on goal again. I think it was blocked by Matt Nels' right skate. Now here come the Bulls. George Mika out to center. Gains the blue line, sets up Molinaro, slams on the brakes. Rounds knocks it away. Michael Rounds pushes it back in behind his own net. Noah Gilraith takes over. 6 minutes into period 3. The Bulls have turned this into a hockey game once more. It's 4-2 Wildcats off that fortunate carom off the end boards. Jeff Salau took the shot, went off a Kapellmaster's right skate into the back of the net. Fortunate break for the Bulls, but they'll take it as a shot was blocked from George Mika and ends up going out of play. Puck is lifted out into the neutral zone. Jake Rosenbaum gloves it down to his stick. Gives it D-to-D there for Matt Meininger. That's Phil Fromberger, my apologies. Fromberger has it once more, returns it. Some crisp D-to-D passing between Rosenbaum and Fromberger. Now it's taken by Baum. Got it past Rosenbaum. And Fromberger takes over once more in hot pursuit from Albrecht. Got it past Albrecht, and now Gernhofer tries to get it to Fromberger. Rosa in the midst of that, breaking it up. Nitsche, meanwhile, got it to the blue line and chips it out on the second try. Sipus ahead for Lazarus, tips it deep into the Amarillo zone past the goal line. No offside here. 2/3 of the 20s line still on the ice. Lazarus, the only one to have come off it. He's replaced by Albrecht, or Bolio rather. Sarnowski's shot blocked by Russell. Jake Dalton with an errant pass. Foreman's quick shot from a sharp angle. Routine save. Kappelmaster now a drive, and that one ricocheted towards Foreman from Meininger. And had he reacted in time, he would have had an open net, but it just happened a bit too quickly. And now Russell will leave it in the neutral zone. Paisan couldn't kick it to his stick. Foreman steals it there and will dump it back in. 12.5 to go in period 3. 4-2 Wildcats. Russell chips it along the corner boards in an attempt to clear. No luck. DiBenedetto on the steal. Tries to slip it into the blue paint. Russell diving, broke it up. Now it's taken and sent up to Goodsir. There's a broken stick down there. It belongs to Rourke Russell. Goodsir out to the right side. Bolio fires a shot, punched away by Baker. Picked up behind the Bulls net. Paisan and Bolio battling for that puck. Bomb pinches. The puck bounces back out to center. And the Denver commit, Tri-City Storm draft pick Adam Goodsir regains the blue line. Albrecht pushed it to himself off the corner boards, gave it away to Santoro, who takes a check from Sipis to make the play and get the puck out to center, but no further. Bomb with a lead pass too far for Albrecht, who is very tired at the waning stages of this long shift. Dillinger will drop it back to Eric Yeager. Wondering if Austin Albrecht is double shifting here, folks. He's been out there ever since the 20s line came back on. Here comes Eric Yeager. Dillinger sets up shop in front of the net. Yeager goes back to Rounds. He takes the shot. Tipped by Dillinger just wide. Picked up far corner. Albrecht's got it. He centers between the skate and the stick of Eric Yeager. Now Rounds brings the puck down the boards. Albrecht picks up the puck behind the net. Unable to get it to Yeager. Good breakup by Jeff Salau. Trent Dillinger back on the puck. Yeager sets up in front of the net. Dillinger trying to stick handle. Dives to make a play, but it's taken by George Mika, and there he goes. Could have a 3-on-2. Gives it to Norris left side into the slot. Molinaro's shot. It was a scorcher, but it missed the net. Salau's drive skitters wide on the far side of the goal. Chopped at by Albrecht and back down the length of the ice. Will this go far enough? Yes. And an exhausted Austin Albrecht is going to have to stay out there. I'd like to give a shout out to the Lazarus family. They say they love watching the Wildcats. The Lazari rooting from Long Island. Thank you very much to the Lazarus family. We really appreciate all the support that you give the Wildcats and Johnny Lazarus on fasthockey.com. We hope you enjoyed that beautiful one-time goal he scored from the left circle on that power play after he was set up by Alexei Poiklin. I believe John LaFontaine using his timeout here, knowing his players are gassed. Very impressive shot by Johnny Lazarus, as was hinted at earlier. I said it before, I'll say it again. He really did love joining me on the broadcast down in Corpus, but I'm sure it doesn't compare to playing down there on the ice. I'd also like to give a quick shout out to the two players who have joined me on the broadcasts this season, Garrett Van Wy and Johnny Lazarus. Both of them have provided color commentary. They were not so sure about it at first. I think Johnny required a little bit more talking into than Garrett did, but they both did a tremendous job. It's a lot more fun, I'm sure, for the listeners as well, listening. Could get a little stale listening to me constantly. It's good to add a little bit of flavor and some input from a player's perspective, no doubt about that. Unfortunately, just with the logistics of the way things are set up here at the KYC, I don't think that's going to be possible unless I get myself a 30-foot plus cable here going out of the mic, but the headset is connected to the cable, so I'd have to get a new headset in order for that to work, and I don't see that happening anytime soon, unfortunately. Perhaps when we go back down to Corpus Christi later this season, we'll try and get a player back in as a color commentator once again. The fans love it. I had a lot of fun as well. Jeff Salau holds the puck alive at the left point. Good steal by Ryan Burnett. Plays it out to center, hoping for Van Wy. Picked off before it got to him by Michael Foreman. Kapellmaster leaves it behind his own goal, and it's Michael Rounds. Wildcats forechecking here. The Bulls trying to exit their own zone. We're past the halfway point of period 3, 9.5 to go. Rosa successful on the forecheck thus far. Push it into the near corner. Lazarus will swing it back to the left point. Could not be held in by Rourke Russell. He's got to double back and pick up the puck in his own zone. Russell takes a hit. He goes around the end boards. Good pass there by Johnny Lazarus. He springs Nick Rosa. Sets up Albrecht left side. Shoots, blocker, save. Rebound bounces into the slot a bit dangerously there. Cole Norris tries to poke it away. Albrecht gives it back to the right side. Dalton's shot was blocked. Santoro will wheel it back out to center. Gloved down by Rourke Russell. Tried to position himself to protect the puck from Michael Foreman, who's now changing. He's replaced by George Mika. Bolio along the left half boards, chips it out to center. Paisan takes a hit, and he knocked Goodser back into the bench. Goodser was in the process of changing. He was working his way back onto the ice, and Paisan was hit, and Goodser fell right back onto the bench. Not sure we've seen that so far this season. Here's Bolio right side, tries to center and set up Goodser. It was a bit too far in front of him. Puck flutters high in the air. Mika overskates it. Good stick check by Paisan. He sets up Goodser. Here's Bolio right side. Paisan the trailer. He shoots, glove save, and the rebound is pounced on by Brian Baker, his biggest stop of period 3. And he has been perfect since allowing the Rourke Russell slap shot from the left point. Many shots ago, 35 shots to 23. And as this game has gone on, Brian Baker's numbers do not look quite so bad. He's 31 of 35. Remember earlier he was only 14 of 19, so, 15 of 19, so he has made quite a bit of successive saves here. He's on quite a bit of a roll. Kapellmaster was until that unfortunate bounce after the puck went off the ricocheted off the end boards and off his right skate into the back of the net. Plays like that will happen. As a goaltender, a few of those per season, I'd say, are basically inevitable with how many players. Now with the increase in the skill level and the savviness from the blue line, we see more and more defensemen, or just players in general, firing the puck wider than that intentionally for a similar bounce. And if that was Jeff Salau's plan all along, I'm sure he'll say it was, but you got to give him credit because that is just a smart, very smart play. And I'm sure a lot of you parents out there tuning into tonight's game, I know there's a lot of Michigan-born players on the Wildcats. Those of you parents that are from Michigan know full well as a rebound is pushed wide. And Baum hammers a shot that was blocked, but you know full well the workings and the boards of the Joe Louis Arena, the home of the Detroit Red Wings, infamous for crazy bounces off the boards. And decades, perhaps not decades, but many years of playing there, a lot of the Detroit Red Wings players have made a strong habit of intentionally firing the puck wide and using those bouncy boards to their advantage. So many smart players on that team. Henrik Zetterberg, Pavel Datsuk, Nick Lidstrom was very good at that as well when he played, the Hall of Fame defenseman. But he was even better at getting his shots on net through traffic. But as a defenseman, that has become a very strong part of the game now in the modern era. Use the boards to your advantage. Baum with some impressive hand-eye coordination there. Batted the puck down immediately. Yeager chips it off the sideboards. Litviak is off to the races on a 2-on-1. Put it across, and down goes Dillinger. He takes a hefty collision into the end boards. He's back on his skates. He's okay. Litviak turned it away from Foreman, who slapped it out of play. 7.5 to go now in period 3. 4-2 Wildcats. And another pretty good chance in that 2-on-1 between Litviak and Dillinger. They just couldn't finish the job. 7.5 to go, 4-2 Wildcats. Alex Von Kordel with you as always here at the K. Yeager Coliseum. Hope you're having a wonderful Friday night. Thanking all of you for joining us on fasthockey.com and on YouTube. We hope the Wildcats can contribute further to your wonderful evening here as Van Wy gave it up the right side for Gilraith. Had the puck stolen from him by Charlie Singerhouse. Now Poikla will drop it off for Michael Rounds. Rounds has a look, gives it off to fellow Michiganer Noah Gilraith, a Grosse Isle, Michigan native. Former Point Mallard Duck. He was an alternate captain there with his NA3HL team. Tremendous defenseman for that team when he played there. I believe he won several awards throughout the season as the Defenseman of the Month. He was third in the entire league in points among defensemen last season. Known for his heart and soul character, his work ethic on and off the ice, which is it's meticulous. They score. Johnny Lazarus set up Austin Albrecht, who buries it. That was a bar down shot by Austin Albrecht. Lazarus set him up from in behind the net. Do you think this kid's having fun being back? It's 5-2. The Wildcats' leading scorer continues to put the puck in the back of the net. He's got his 21st of the season. He's the first Wildcat this year to reach 50 points, so a big milestone for Austin Albrecht, having a career season for the Wildcats. Congratulations to Austin Albrecht on that milestone. 50 points, not an easy feat in the slightest. The entire North American Hockey League, there are not a whole lot of players with 50 points, just 11. Albrecht has become the 12th. Albrecht gives it to his longtime line mate again, Johnny Lazarus. Good drop pass again. Albrecht sets up Lazarus on the give-and-go play, and he fires it just wide. It goes off the glass. The puck has slipped back to Dom Sipus in the neutral zone. Boy, that chemistry between Johnny Lazarus and Austin Albrecht has not gone anywhere since Lazarus missed those 4 games with the upper body shoulder injury as a Paisan shot is gloved and held by Brian Baker, who has just given up his first goal in quite some time. Well, that Austin Albrecht snipe. Dom Sipus takes over in neutral ice. He put it between the skates of Paisan and back into the Bulls zone. Sarnowski chips it into Wichita Falls ice, and Bolio is back out with it. Paisan fell down. I think he collided with Zach Sarnowski there. No penalty forthcoming. And the play blown dead due to an offside. 5:18 remain in period 3. It's 5-2 Wildcats. That Odessa-Topeka game just keeps getting crazier, folks. Now it's 7-6 Roadrunners. I wonder if those fans are enjoying that game up at the Lannon Arena. Biak had the puck stolen from him by the former University of Vermont forward Tyler Gernhofer, and his shot smothered by Kappelmaster. Tyler Gernhofer, the only player on this Amarillo Bulls squad at the moment who was a part of their 2013 championship season. They won the Robertson Cup that year. Good friend to my left right now, Dennis J. Puska, the Amarillo broadcaster, was a part of that championship run. He remembers it, of course, and it was a very emotional run for him as Gernhofer's blast was ricocheted wide. And Rounds will punch it back out to center. Slapped back in, a little bit wide of the net. Kappelmaster will leave it there for Noah Gilreath. We're within 5 minutes remaining now in period 3 at 5-2 Cats. Puck chopped away from Paisan by Mika. Left there from Kappelmaster for Gilreath and given to Rounds. Rounds on the left side on the breakout. He's got a 4-on-3 developing here. Rounds will put it over the line. Paisan gave it across. Dillinger lost possession of the puck. Gave it to Paisan in behind the net. Tries to set up Yeager, and he does. Yeager kicks it to himself. Down the end boards. Jake Rosenbaum beating him to it. Dillinger nudges it free. Yeager's going to pick it up. Yeager's got Van Wy fresh off the bench from a line change. Rosenbaum gains the red line and blasts it just wide of the net. Dalton will chop at it, gets it past Norris and back out to center. George Mika once more gains the blue line. Fires a shot, goes wide blocker side. Cole Norris and Ryan Burnett come together, the latter of whom won the puck. Poikala sets up Burnett nicely with a good dish pass. Burnett tries to put it on goal. It was blocked by Nels. Burnett loses his stick. Nels takes over for the Bulls. Gives it rink wide there for Joey Molinaro. Working one-on-one. Couldn't sidestep Rourke Russell. Good defensive stick. Now here comes Poikala. Poikala down the right side. Turning on the Jets. Trying to center. That was a good effort by Poikala, but a good breakup. An even better breakup by Jeff Salau. Burnett working hard for that puck. Sets the puck into the slot for Albrecht, and then Poikala's eventual shot blockered away by Baker. Poikala gets to it. Foreman hitting him up against the boards, and the Bulls end up with a puck. Jeff Salau will just flip it out to center, and Baum will bat it down with 3:15 to go in the period. Albrecht will leave it off. Good drop pass from Lazarus. Baum across. One-timer. Sipus rattles just wide. It went off a Wildcat stick parked out in front of Baker. And the puck fluttered just wide out the far side. Here's Rosa regaining the Bulls line. The backhand pass that pinballs every which way. Picked up by Foreman. Banked off the end boards. There's some tired skaters out there for Amarillo. Lazarus chops it back to the point for Baum. Here's the shot. It was blocked. Follow-up chance. Albrecht sent it high. Lazarus again in behind the net. This line has been one of the best tonight for the Wildcats. Sipus has it again. Still looking for his second goal of the game. Gives it back to Baum. Here's the shot. Stopped by Baker. Rebound on the doorstep. Pushed aside. Taken again by Sipus after a bull fell down. Boy, they can barely skate out there. They're so tired. Foreman with 2.5 to go will chop it back out to center. The Wildcats look like they're going to try to get right back into the attacking zone, but Sipus was down behind the Bulls' goal line. The Cats will take a little bit longer than they wanted to, but Bulio's right back over there. He takes a shot from the right side that's gloved and held by Brian Baker. Puck was ruled to be on an offside. Goodsir isn't sure why. I think it barely bounced over that blue line, so the faceoff will come back out to center. We're within 2 minutes here in period 3, 5-2. Wildcats, who look to be en route to winning their 10th straight game against the Amarillo Bulls. I don't think any other team can say that this season, certainly not in this division. Perhaps the Fairbanks Ice Dogs, and they've won every game they've played against Kenai River, which is quite a few. As Bolio does the toe drag, and his shot flutters wide, courtesy of Jake Rosenbaum out in front. Now it's Michael Rounds taking this shot that's tipped by Goodsir and wide. Goodsir, of course, Michael Rounds' billet mate. It's given back to the left side for Rounds. His pass picked off. Molinaro couldn't spring himself. Good back check by Noah Gilreath to prevent a breakaway from the Bulls' leading scorer, Joey Molinaro. He snaps his twig with that shot. I think that was Cole Norris. Through the second half of that lumber. He's lucky he won't get a penalty for that. Charlie Singerhouse had a slap shot, broken up by the back check of Adam Goodser. Now here comes Trent Dillinger. Not sure he saw he had Rourke Russell as the trailer there. The last minute of play is brought to you by La Quinta Inn & Suites, the official host hotel of your Wichita Falls Wildcats, as the Bulls work the puck back out to center as this game slowly comes to an end. With this victory, the Wildcats will improve in the standings even further. They will improve to 39, 10, and 4. Long point shot goes just wide, and Litviak couldn't put it through the 5-hole of Baker. The Bulls will fall to 11, 38, and 4. And the Wildcats will extend their lead over the Lone Star Brahmas to 7. If the Brahmas can win tonight, that lead will remain at 5. But they're currently trailing on home ice to the Corpus Christi Ice Rays 2-1. That game very early on in period 3. Tons of hockey remains to be played. But the Brahmas certainly better suited to play with a lead than they are from behind. We'll see if they can muster a comeback. Eric Yeager wins the face-off, goes back to the right point. One last power play opportunity here for the Wildcats. They've got a 5-on-4 man advantage for the next 30 seconds as Dalton shoots and a big save is made by Brian Baker, who's moving back into his crease from his left to his right. Now Yeager has it at the goal line. He's got Russell open. Russell unloads and it was blocked. Yeager has it. Left circle into the slot. Dalton turns one on goal. Save, rebound. They score. Eric Yeager's got his second of the night. And it's 6-2 Wildcats. Eric Yeager now with 21 points on the season and with 8 goals, and that's going to wrap things up. The Wichita Falls Wildcats have their 10th straight victory over the Amarillo Bulls. They cannot say that about any other team this season. They have really had their way with Amarillo as their goaltender Alex Cathcart, who looks like was just inserted very late into that game, gets some fist bumps from his teammates. He and Brian Baker console one another. Meanwhile, Crazy Cat comes back out to join the line with the Wildcats, celebrate with her team. The Wildcats congratulating their goaltender, Justin Kappelmaster, on another impressive victory, stopping 22 of 24 shots. Kappelmaster with his 29th victory of the season, which that moves him, I believe, into 3rd place in the entire North American Hockey League for goaltending wins, if I'm not mistaken. I'll verify that here momentarily. It looks like with that victory, Justin Kappelmaster, no, he has tied Gavin Nieto and Hunter Shepard of the Ice Dogs and the Bobcats. The 3 of them now tied for the league lead in wins among goaltenders at 29 each. Very impressive stuff. A tremendous season for the Ferris State commit, Justin Kappelmaster. Several of the Wildcats players, along with Crazy Cat, bow their heads at center ice. Many of them also work their way back towards the dressing room. 3 of them will be right back on the ice momentarily as your Kona Ice 3 stars of the game. Until then, hang tight. All right, welcome back, everybody. The three-star selection has just been read by Charles Campbell. There was a last-second change, which is why there's some confusion down there with the players. Initially, the three stars were Johnny Lazarus, Demontis Sipus, and Rourke Russell in that order, with Eric Yeager's second goal being scored very late in that game. The three-star selection was changed. Eric Yeager is tonight's second star of the game. Demontis Sipus remains in the top three. He is tonight's third star of the game. The number one star should come as no surprises here, folks. He was out with injury for several games. He finally returned tonight. He scored, not only got the Wildcats attack going on that 5-on-3 power play with a tremendous snipe, but he also set up Austin Albrecht from in behind his own net, the opposing net, for a beautiful goal, and it was a good pass to get it to him. Johnny Lazarus with a 2-point night, and the rust factor was non-apparent for Johnny Lazarus, number 22 in white tonight. Had an extremely strong game, very well deserving, and he is tonight's Kona Ice first star of the game. Again, the final score here tonight, 6-2 in favor of Wichita Falls. They extend their lead in the South Division standings to a 7-point margin, a tentative 7-point margin over the Lone Star Brahmas. Again, we're going to wait for the Lone Star Corpus Christi game to unfold. It is still going on. It's a 2-1 lead in favor of the Brahmas at the moment at the NITEC Sports Center, and it looks like they have just tied it up. So it's 2-2. Lone Star has just tied up Corpus Christi, which is bad news for the Wildcats, good news for the Jackalopes, who need the Ice Rays to lose games if they want to have any chance of making it into that fourth and final playoff seed in the South Division. Alex Berardinelli has just scored a power play goal for Lone Star to level the score out at the NITEC Sports Center. The only other South Division matchup going on tonight has been one heck of a ride. It's a 7-6 hockey game in Topeka. Looks like it's about seconds away from concluding, about half a minute, looks like. And I believe that game on point streak, it is now telling me 1 second remains. So I believe that game is just about over. 7-6, if I'm not mistaken, will be the final score at the Landon Arena. So what a barn burner that has been. Topeka 7, Odessa 6, and that's got to be a heartbreaking defeat for the Jackalopes, because they need every point they can get because they're fighting for their very playoff lives. That's going to just about wrap things up here from the KYC, folks. We hope you all enjoyed your Friday night. We hope the Wildcats made it even better. Thank you for joining us, for those of you watching on fasthockey.com and those of you listening on youtube.com. Again, we hope you enjoyed the broadcast tonight, folks. We know you enjoyed the outcome. Once again, it's the Wildcats with 6, the Bulls with 2. They improve to 39-10-4 in the South Division, a very impressive record for the Wildcats. They continue their undefeated home winning streak in 2016. This season, they have not lost in the annual year, which is extremely impressive. If the Wildcats can continue this, they will be a force to be reckoned with, to say the least, in the first round and second round of the Robertson Cup playoffs. Until tomorrow night, everybody, I'm Alex Von Coydle, sending you on your way. Hope you enjoy the rest of your Friday evening, and we hope you join us again for tomorrow night's game against the Amarillo Bulls. It will be the 12th and final time these two teams meet on the same ice surface this season. Till then, so long, everyone.